Hey Steno Peeps, Jen back with a fun jury charge dictation. Today we're going to do a dictation on Jinx the elf who stands accused of stealing from Santa's workshop. This has no particular speed, so set your speed controller and let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected to hear the case involving the defendant, Jinx the elf, who stands accused of stealing from Santa's workshop, a most sacred place where holiday magic is made, gifts are crafted, and joy is delivered to children across the world. It is your duty to carefully consider all the evidence presented and to render a verdict based on the law. You must follow the instructions I am about to give to you, and remember that the defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant Jinx is accused of the following. 1. Theft from Santa's workshop. The defendant is alleged to have taken valuable holiday gifts intended for children and hidden them for personal gain. 2. Violation of the elf code of conduct. As an elf, the defendant is bound by the laws and traditions of the North Pole, which explicitly forbid the taking of items from the workshop for any purpose other than their intended use. For you to find the defendant guilty of theft, the prosecution must prove each of the following elements beyond a reasonable doubt. 1. That the defendant took something valuable. You must determine whether the defendant took physical items, such as toys or gifts, from Santa's workshop. 2. That the defendant did so knowingly and intentionally. It must be shown that Jinx knew the items belonged to Santa's workshop and took them with the intent to keep them for personal use or benefit from them unlawfully. 3. That the defendant's actions caused harm. You must consider whether the defendant disrupted the festive operations of the workshop, delaying or preventing the distribution of gifts to children worldwide. The defendant has claimed that their actions were misunderstood or accidental. Jinx asserts that there was no ill intent and any items removed were merely borrowed for a temporary purpose. It is up to you, the jury, to decide whether this explanation is plausible or if it undermines the seriousness of the crime. The prosecution has the burden of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. If you have any reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty, then it is your duty to find the defendant not guilty. The standard of proof is high, and you must base your decision solely on the evidence and testimony presented during this trial. After hearing all the evidence, you will retire to deliberate in private. It is important that each of you consider all the evidence carefully and discuss it thoroughly with your fellow jurors. You must reach a unanimous verdict, either guilty or not guilty, based on the law and the facts of the case. If you find the defendant guilty, it will be up to me, Judge Frostwick, to impose an appropriate sentence, which may include community service at the workshop, a magical probationary period, or other measures consistent with the elf code. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may retire to begin your deliberations. May your decision be guided by truth and the holiday spirit. Court is adjourned. All right, is Jinx guilty? I don't know, but we got through that one. It was only 4.5 minutes, so it was a little shy of 5 minutes this time, but that's just as long as it was. That was how the cookie crumbled. So hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next dictation.